where we're going to continue our survival horror game. I'm just going to bring the chat up here. Just give me a second. Okay, I think that's up now. Okay, I think we're all good now to go. Hey Smahoo man, welcome back. Hope you're having a great week, a virus-free week. So what did we do last time? We were working on the inside of the hospital. Oh yeah, I made this as well. This is a private collection right now, but people always ask me like what's some of my favourite dreams, and I decided, you know what, I'll go through and I'll try and find some that I really enjoyed. It's not a complete list, I'm still working on it, but as you can see here, there's some things that you'll recognise, no doubt. Some things we've played on the stream, some things I played near the start of Dreams as well, so off stream. There's a lot of cool stuff here, but I think there's like what 23 creations here. I'm going to try and get it to at least 30, and then I'm going to publish it. So you've probably played most of these levels yourself because they're relatively popular. So, but it's good to sort of give you an idea of the kind of thing that I like to play, you know. Okay, so let me see. So I'll quickly show you the scene. Hold on, I think it's over here. Yeah. So we completely redid the lighting. Intra Attack Out, he collaborated on the scene, and he's going to be doing that for all of the scenes that we make. So never mind the walking noise, it's because I duplicated the puppet. But you can see the lighting itself looks a lot better now, and the fire has been improved. I found a different fire in Intra Attack Out. He tried to make it look pretty cool. I changed some other things because I'm still working on the graphics, but there used to be like trash bags over there, and I just thought there wouldn't be trash bags like blocking the alleyway, so I've removed those to make it more clear. This trolley here, I moved it a little bit closer so there's not a gap anymore, so you can't walk inside the gap. And I removed a couple of trash bags that were lying on the ground. I thought they were a bit distracting, getting in the way. I also changed this camera here. So before, it's quite similar, but before when you came here, you couldn't see the trolley. So I thought for continuity, I thought I would let you see the trolley a little bit as you switch scenes. And I did some little things, like I moved this crate over just slightly towards the light. And as you can see over here, I'm starting to work on my own building, but it's quite a basic building. There's like no textures or anything, but I think it looks a lot better because the buildings that I found, they were far too narrow. I wanted them to be a lot wider because when you go inside the buildings, they're quite large. So I tried to edit the other people's buildings, but the way that they were built, it was so complicated. Like I thought like all the structures would be like grouped together. They weren't. Everything was like an individual block, so it was a nightmare. So I had to pretty much start from scratch to sort of build something. But I'll focus more on the graphic side of things later. Right now I'm just trying to get like the buildings spaced out, so I know how long the street's going to be. So Intra Attack Out, he can start to do the lighting in the outside street part. And I changed the car as well. As you remember, there was like a plain white sports car. I've changed it for this black one. Looks a bit better. I found a collection with lots of cars, so we have got a lot to choose from now. So maybe I don't have to build my own cars. But yeah, that's basically what this scene's like so far. And when I was going over the map, I thought, well, we've got the job centre, we've got the mechanics, we've got the alleyways and the street, but I thought we could add a few more buildings to the street to finalise it. So I thought we could add like a store, a small store, and maybe like a restaurant, just to give you a little bit more variety when you're going through the streets. So I think that's what we'll do today. We'll go back to the streets and add these couple of extra areas before we continue the hospital. I think that's probably the best thing to do, because I want to get a demo out as soon as possible, so the quicker the streets are finished, the better it is. So I'm going to do a quick remix of this one. If it loads. I didn't even think this was that big a scene. I'm quite surprised it's taking that long. Okay. So let me just like delete all this stuff, because it is quite messy. See, I didn't know this before, right? But see, if you go to like if you go to update mode, I thought it was only objects that required an update that would appear here, but it's not. It's literally everything you've used comes here. So if you forgot, like say I used like these papers and I forgot what they were called or who made them, I can just come here and find them. So like this lamppost as well, street light, this is the crater. So I don't actually need to keep all these things here. I can just search for them again, and if I forget the name of them, I can just check the updates, and it should tell me what they're called. So I don't need to keep placeholders here anymore. It's not necessary. Just delete all this stuff. It's about time. Yeah, if you're wondering what these wee specks are, they were supposed to be like glass, because I didn't know how to make glass. So that's what I did. Right, let me just get rid of all this stuff. So it's going to be an indoor scene, so we don't really need lampposts and things. We're just going to keep this, because this is these are the jukeboxes. We'll keep John, Jerry, Steve. We have to keep him. Like every scene we do from now on, we have to keep him. He's like the new mascot. Oh, I didn't realise that the chat was bursting open there. Hey Alpha Werewolf, welcome back. Hope you're having a great week. Ascendant Warface, hey, welcome back. Hope you're having a great week too. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Hey Scheme Costs, 100th. Crooked Vulture, 101st. What is this? What are we celebrating? Hey Isaac Clyde, welcome back. Hope you're also having a great week. Red Stool, hello. How are you getting on with your Final Fantasy 7 battle level? I hope that he's creating a cutscene from the level that we played on Saturday, and it's looking pretty good. I'm liking how well he's animated the scene. Hopefully he can get that released quite quick. Right, I think, see, to be honest, now that I'm just remixing scenes, I'm only remixing them because of John, Jerry, Steve. It just saves me having to redo a scene from scratch. But right, we'll just pretend this is going to be like we'll start with we'll start with the restaurant actually, yeah, because it's like a bigger sort of area. So it's probably not going to be as big as this area, but it'll be big, right? So let's see. So if you, I want to see if I can type in like a diner or something. I don't know if like any internal parts are here. So they've got the tables. Maybe they're better. They're a bit high on thermal, but they're better than the plain ones. Someone's actually made a full diner set, which I could steal, but I kind of want to make it from scratch, more or less. Don't really want to make it like a really vintage diner, but I don't really know what else I would search for, but maybe these tables, let me see how high thermal they are. We just get like a booth. Yeah, look, they're massively high in thermal. Let me just see if I can reduce. This is like a little mini game on its own. Always try to reduce all this stuff. Right, whatever, right. It'll look like super basic, but we can always undo it, right? Same with this. The structure, it's like so high thermal and you probably won't even see that most of the time. Alright, so I like to get everything really blue. So there we go. Crisis averted. It still looks quite good. I mean, if you get too close, but we're not making a first person game, so you're not really going to see this. You're going to see it from like this kind of angle, so from the distance. So you could make really bad graphics in a classic survival horror game, but because the camera is so far back, you don't actually see the fleck detail. Plus when you add in the lighting and stuff, you know. Looking great so far. Yeah, it's all coming together, and I feel like we can probably get all of a rough, not a rough, but like a rough polished version of the demo, the environments by the end of this month, and I'm hoping to finish the inventory and stuff like that. So after that, then we just need to wait on Sloppy Jew. He's making the characters, and so once he's got those ready, I'll be able to start working on the logic for the enemies. So when you deal and take damage, all these kind of things. And there's obviously the health, the animations. I think they're going to take me quite a while. I'm going to keep this payphone because I think maybe there's like a payphone inside the restaurant, you know. So we'll just keep it like that for now. So let's see. So just imagine this is the second character. As he goes through the alleyways, after he leaves the mechanics, he goes through the alleyways. He goes through the basketball court. That's where he meets the the first character on the other side of the fence, and then the other exits. The alleyways, you can't exit the alleyways until you go through the restaurant, and then from the restaurant there's like a side door, and then you go through a bit more alleyway, and then you go through a little store, and then you can cross the street to get to the private car park, which leads you to the hotel for the second character. So we'll just start doing this for now. So clearly we're not giants, so we don't want things to be this huge, right? Not even that huge. Let me just see that. I mean, that's probably still huge. I'm not always a big fan of how people scale things, because sometimes they scale them and they're not really for humans. They're just like they've built it. Maybe like in general, I think that looks a good size, I think. So my idea is that you're on the alleyway here, and you come through like you enter through the fire exit, let's say. And so when you come through the fire exit, you're going to have all the seats here. This is like over here. This is where the main road is, where the hospital is. So you got all the seats here. Then you have a counter here, and then maybe there's like the kitchens over here. I don't know if we're going to make the kitchen. I don't know if if you're going to go through the kitchen. I know that you have to go all the way to the side of the kitchen though to get through the other door, because the other doors there's a shutter here, so it's like you can't get out the front door. You can't get out of the other alleyways because they're like blocked to the things, video game stuff. So you have to go through this other side door, which gets you around the blockage in the alleyway, and then it takes you to the other side where you can go through the small store. So I think I found a fire exit on my own off stream. The funny thing is, I think when I put in fire exit, let me see, yeah, this is what comes up. It's just the fire signs, it's not the actual exit. I don't know about you, but when I look for a door, I look for a fire exit, but for some reason people were naming it fire door. So here's your fire door. I call these fire exits, I don't call these fire doors, because for me a fire door is like that's a fire door. A literal fire door. So there's not many options. There's like a double one and there's like a single one. Considering this is a big restaurant, I think maybe the double one is probably the most appropriate, just to get more people through. So we'll assume that this is where you start your adventure through the restaurant. Let me see here, just catching up. Amazing what a bit of work on lighting can do. Yeah, exactly. Because even when I get the graphics up to a good standard, you still need to have good lighting. So luckily Attack Out, he's going to help out a lot with the lighting, which means I can relax a bit and do some other stuff. And the same with Sloppy Jew. He's making all the characters and the enemies, so he can focus on the sculpting, and then it means I can just focus on level design and animating and these kind of things and doing the logic. Plus we've got Red Stool to help us advise. He's like an advisory. He helps me out if I'm ever having any problems with the logic. My cutscene for an FF7 scene is almost done. I'll show you it. That plays before the battle scene that you tried before. Oh yeah, I noticed that you added Alpha as a collaborator too. Sweet, can't wait to see it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's quite funny. I'm not going to brag, but I kind of wrote the lines. It's the monster with a British voice. Make sure to stare at its weird shaped leg. Oh yeah. I still want to make that music video for him, I think. Because I've got this idea where on the street you pass by like a video game store, and then there's like you know the video game stores nowadays, they sell like little Funko toys. So I thought there could be like a video game store, but they also sell John, Jerry, Steve little figurines, because throughout the game you're going to collect them. It's going to be like these kind of things here. It looks kind of cool. But he'll be advertised outside, like just casually. But it would be nice if we could make an advertisement for him. Maybe it plays on a TV and we can play the song, the You Are Not Alone song, but John, Jerry, Steve version. I definitely want to make that. I think it would be good marketing as well for the game if we can actually incorporate that. It's a shame we can't use screenshots to put in our scenes, because a screenshot of Red Stool's logic chips would be a great addition to your horror game, LB. Yeah, that's definitely one way to look at it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, because like in Little Big Planet, you used to be able to take pictures and then just place them down. I don't know why Dreams doesn't let you do it. Like, they're probably going to come up with some excuse, but surely that's something they have to add at some point. Especially if you're not very good at making textures, you can just like make a texture pack and then people can just slap down textures, you know, as a picture. It's better than nothing. I think I managed to improve the Night of the Floating Heads by making it like 20 times harder. Oh good, that's definitely what I like to see. I'm having a hard time making other maps because I think it's too small to really do anything with. Yeah, I suppose you could just think of like new gameplay gimmicks, so like every map there's something different, that, you know, it's not just the same thing on a different environment, you know. So maybe there's an environment where the lights turn on and off so sometimes you might not see where you're going for a brief moment, or you need to like turn the power on to make sure it stays on. Damn, the test analysis tools seem to be incredibly useful. I think I really underestimated them. Yeah, they are. I was testing Red Stool's Final Fantasy VII Battle because I'm on a base PS4, so the frame rate wasn't too good. It's playable, I guess, but compared to his, mine was really sluggish. So I took it into test mode, and I was getting like 280% gameplay thermal, and I was getting like 16 frames a second. And I think when he tested it on his Pro, he was getting like 60% less gameplay and 60% less graphics, and his frame rate was great. So it just shows you the big difference. 60%, there's a 60% difference on tough scenes compared to a regular PS4 and a Pro, which makes me worry about the PS5, because if Dreams is going to support all the versions of the PS4 plus the PS5, then it's like you're definitely going to have some serious issues with people playing on a base PS4. I feel quite lucky, quite fortunate, because since I am creating on a base PS4, if something lags for me, something doesn't work, then it doesn't work for all base PS4 players. Whereas if you're creating on a Pro, it's probably harder to judge, because it might work great for you, but then for base PS4 players, it's going to be awful. So it's if I'm working on the PS5 in the future, it's like I'm probably going to need to go back over to the PS4 just to test it and make sure it still works on a PS4 as well. But I guess we'll just need to wait and see how Media Molecule are going to handle this cross compatibility, because there's no way that they're going to allow the PS4 to suffer. But at the same time, the PS5 needs to be able to, actually be an improvement. Yeah, we can't use screenshots in game in a scene, but I do share screenshots to LBA on PSN when he needs help and stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, that's good too, like just sending messages and stuff. A screenshot feature for use in the game would be great for pre-rendered backgrounds. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many of you have seen it, but back in Little Big Planet 2, when I made the Batman Justice League series, I created some backgrounds, but because I fit a 17-minute short film into one single level, so I was like trying to really force it to work. And there was a scene where I wanted to show the outside of like a carnival area, but to create a full carnival, I was like, no way, that will take me forever. So I just took a picture, literally with the PlayStation Eye, and then I put it up on a sticker panel, and it basically doesn't use any thermal. So that's a feature I miss, because it did come in handy, Let's see, get these pretty close. I figured out my camera rig. My idea actually worked. I'm really starting to love Logic. Okay, what kind of camera rig are you working on? You think it should be possible to use images as a fleck type while painting? That's how it sorta was in Little Big Planet 3. Oh yeah? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, they always come up with excuses, like, oh, the engine can't handle it. We'll make it handle it. Come on. We're talking about next generation quality here. That would be a really neat option. Yeah, it would. Hopefully they add it. But they've got so many things they're adding and taking away, because now that our audio is getting destroyed, who knows what else they're going to destroy in the future. Let me just put the music on, but I need to see the audio. I think I turned it down. I put it a bit louder so you can hear it a bit better. You should censor John Jerry Steve's leg on stream. I probably should. I mean, YouTube are probably going to start banning me if I don't do something about that. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that next. Yeah, censor it. I'm worried he's going to catch me looking. Well, that's your problem. If you look, that's your problem. That's what all the ladies say. They can wear what they want, because if you look, that's your problem. That's an impressive difference in Pro. Yeah, massive. Massive. I'd like to test it more often in other levels as well. But yeah, 60%, because my graphics were at 99% when I played his battle, and his were like 34 or something, so it's roughly like 60, maybe 65. Huge difference. I don't care if he catches me looking, because I'm going to get punished via nightmare mode anyway. Oh, okay, so forward to nightmare mode, huh? I want my time to be well worth your suffering. I was wondering, like, I've not seen Nivi Artist in the chat in a while, but I was thinking about asking him if he could maybe like create some basic portraits. So like in the restaurant, maybe there's like some portraits here. But I mainly wanted to ask because when you get to the hospital, I wanted to do like a classic puzzle where you have to look at all the portraits of like all the founding members, and then you need to like press the buttons in order or do something with the portraits. Plus, when you pick up the objects that you can read, like the letters and the notes and the documents, the diaries, the files, I wanted to create some little pictures as well. So I'll need an artist to properly do these, otherwise it's not going to happen. But I hope it's possible. It would be a nice addition. I feel like I'm adding so many features to this game. It's like it's going to become like a real game. Right. So is that too wide? Let me see. Because if we're outside, yeah, we can probably keep going. I just noticed though, like everything's like out of sync. Everything's going like down here. What the hell? I think the grid is like on the wrong thing. See, this is another thing, I've never really experimented with this, but like if the grid is off, how do you fix it? Because I want the grid to be the same as this wall, you know? Because here's the grid, it's going straight, I think. This ain't going straight though. So I don't know how to fix that. That's a problem. Well, until someone tells me how you properly realign the grids. I know you can press like L1 and triangle or something, but I don't know if that, you know, it's what I'm looking for. Because I need it so that it's lined up with this. Maybe if I do like that and then, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that the creator made it. I don't know, I need to fix this. That's gonna bug me big time. But like I always say, none of these environments are final, so you know, if something doesn't match 100%, don't worry about it, because I'm going to have to redo all this anyway. So is that like up against the wall, more or less, right? Oh. I mean, if I do it like that, it's not anymore, is it? Or is it? Right, whatever, that looks better. I think. But then I'll start to move it and we'll see, because look, I think if it starts scraping against the wall, I'm not going to be happy. Right, that'll do for now. Right, there you go. I'll just make as many of these as I think is realistic to find in a restaurant place. So you've got 1, 2, 4 booths, because I'm going to do booths coming along this way as well, so maybe that's good for that side. And then I can rotate Get it right, get it right, that's how you get it perfect. Right, I don't know how far apart these are going to be. I'll try and get them kind of close. Would it go against the wall? Because I mean, I don't want to like crush people. You know, if they're coming in and they need to squeeze through that booth to get to the into their seat. You know, like if you're a bigger person, you know, you're gonna struggle getting through there a wee bit. I think maybe that's good enough, right? That's generous enough, don't you think? So we'll do some going this way, we'll do some going that way. In the middle we'll do some other seats as well. Then we'll have the counter here. So I'll try and make this restaurant as big as I can, because it's not a main scene. It's not like a scene you're going to explore a lot in. It's mostly just to pass through. But it still would be nice to like give it a personality. So it's not just, oh yeah, we passed through a restaurant, big deal. You know, I want it to be more like, oh no, it actually something happened in that restaurant, or we had to explore to find something. You know, like maybe like a diary. Someone left a diary next to their old cheeseburger or something, you know. So I need to figure out, because I want to make a door as well. So like if the building's like here maybe, so maybe I'll maybe put a door here and then expand the rest out. This is a very popular restaurant. I mean, it's right next to the hospital, so you know everyone comes here. You know, this is like John Jerry Steve's favourite place, you know. Every time he goes to the hospital for a workout, this is the first place he comes straight after, you know. Just because, I mean, like, legs like that, they just don't happen without a good nutritious meal, you know. I don't even know what this place is going to sell. I assume it's just going to be like burgers and stuff. People love to make food in this game, I've noticed, so we'll have a good selection of things, I think, to choose from. What if Red Stool turns frame rate mode off and uses resolution mode? How do the results of that compare to a standard PS4? Well, that's another test. I don't think he did that test. I think he did the frame rate mode. To be honest, like, does the resolution mode make much of a difference on the Pro? Because I imagine most Dreams content looks kind of similar. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's better for some other games, like Horizon Zero Dawn. That's meant to look really good on a Pro. But Dreams, I don't know. I've never seen screenshots to compare. But that's an interesting test. Jet Set Radio on the Dreamcast was capable of letting us use our own JPEGs in-game. Surely Dreams can handle it, at least a few of them. Well, you say that, but they'll always make excuses, trust me. It's too hard, man, it's too hard. It's a headache. It took us like 6 years or something to make this game. Now you want us to put pictures in? That's going to take like another 3 years. Yeah, I have frame rate mode on. I should try that, but I don't think it would affect me much. I suppose it's good for our experimentation, I guess, just to see how much of a difference the frame rate mode actually contributes to it. If you don't press the portrait buttons in the right order, you get attacked by zombie crows. Yeah, exactly. Or you just get attacked by John Jerry Steve's crows. He just bursts out a wall and just chokes you to death. Also, I love myself a diner, at least in games. They kind of look cool. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of... People love these vintage type of restaurants. You know what I could do? I could actually put, like, if I can find a vintage car and maybe put it inside the restaurant, that could be like a centerpiece. Well, I think that would look quite cool. But yeah, like, I was never going to add this restaurant. See, I'll tell you what happened. I was playing the Resident Evil 3 demo and I was running through the streets and there was so many little buildings that you were going inside, and I thought, well, you know, even if the building is not a main building, because I made the job centre and the mechanics like a main building, because you have to explore a little bit and there's a purpose to it. But then I thought, okay, now you're just going to run on the streets, you're going to run through the alleyways, get to the hospital, that's it. But I think to add more buildings, I think is a little more work, obviously, but I think it's adds more variety. And I guess it feels more like a city when you play through it. Now that we're going through a restaurant, we're going through a small store, you feel like it's more like a city, you know? So hopefully that's what I can achieve. Let me see if I can find a double door for the restaurant. I know we don't have glass, but I guess that one kind of does the job, unless you want to go for a really fancy door. We kind of need to have glass, even though we're not really going to see through the glass. I guess we still need to do it. Yeah, I think so. Let me try this one. Why is it like this? See, we're all on different grids, you know. Some people created the other way around. What is this though? Why is there like a big frame here? Did they make the door and then he decided, you know what, I'm going to make a smaller door? I don't know. Let me see, can I delete? Oh. Hold on, let me see if I can... Oh no, that's a... I thought that was going to be a problem there. Right. There you go. So we've got our glass here. It's quite nice glass actually. He's just used like flecks, but they're sort of see-through. It'll do the job, like I always say. We're not playing a first-person game, so you won't really see this. You know, when you get to the front door, the camera angle is going to be like this, you know. So, but I know that there's going to be a shutter outside anyway, so maybe that's how we can block it, so you don't actually see through. I'll put a shutter on the other side of the door. That kind of blocks it out. Let me see. I'm sure we used a shutter in the mechanics. Oh, it's down here somewhere. I swear I found it somewhere. Here we go. For some reason, you would think this would be near the front, but it's actually like near the back. You know, windows and these things, they seem to have more priority. Right, here we go. Right, I need to delete this because look, you can see it actually moves. Hold on, I need to reset the track, sorry. I just need to delete some stuff. Get rid of this roll, we don't need that anymore. Right, I think... Is that more or less everything? Let me see, does it still animate? Oh, yeah it does. Hold on. Ah, there it's there. I found it. I found the logic. Right. Oh, it's still going crazy. Like it just rolls up like a snake. That's amazing. Right. I think I'm going to have to change the... Oh, I think I put a hole in that. Let's see. How do you stop it from moving? Is there like a physical setting? Maybe it's here. Whatever. Whatever, that'll do. I'll fix it later. Fix it later. That's my motto most of the time, I'll fix it later. Right, there you go, there's a shutter, right? It's a shutter so the intruders can't get in, right? It's a bit damaged, unfortunately, but there you go. I don't know where the other half went, it just sort of disappeared. Right, let's just pretend that's the shutter, right? So you can see, like, from the other side of the glass, there's a shutter there. So, you know, mission accomplished. Right, now we need to get some walls in now. Don't let me just turn this round. Right. Oh, sorry, I'm destroying my shutter there. Let me just bring this down a bit. Oh, I keep destroying my shutter. I think it's like colliding as well. Maybe it's like collidable. It's quite cool how it just animates on its own. Crazy physics. Right. I think that's more or less. Right, I think that's it. Let me just extend this a little bit. I like to get a bit of a structure before I properly fill the inside, you know, just to make sure. Right, there you go. Don't mind my shutter. Right. Oh, moved up too much. Right, we'll pretend this is it, right? Right. We'll make another one here later. So now I can duplicate these ones to the other side. It's not going to be duplicated on the other side because there's going to be another door here, so maybe just like half of them maybe. So let me see if I can take like, instead of taking all 4, just take these 2 and then take these, and then if I flip it round, it should be okay. I think that's good. I mean, we can figure out the dimensions, you know, like it's not exactly the same distance. I used to find this really easy in Little Big Planet. I used to count the grid spaces, like to see how far everything was. In Dreams it's harder because the grid spaces are stupid. But I think you can use a ruler as well. There is actually a tool that you can use to measure things, but if it's not accurate, like I said, I'll fix it later. Alright, so it's a pretty big diner, so maybe I'll get that car. Maybe I think that's a good idea to add a sort of like a centerpiece. I think that would be quite nice. You should try it. Will be great if resolution mode matches the standard PS4 performance, because those of us with Pro can easily test to see how our game runs for others on standard. I don't think it will be quite as good as bad, sorry, as the standard one, because you still have a Pro even though you're playing it on resolution mode. I imagine you'll still have more power, you know, even though you're not using the frame rate mode. In general, it should still be more powerful. But if anybody wants to use me to test your level, you know, with my base PS4, I can do that just to see what numbers I'm getting. But I've never actually, at least I've not really noticed too much slowdown. It was only in that level because it's so complex. And it is kind of hard to optimize, I guess. Post-workout protein, mostly for his tiny leg, so my friend says. Be careful. Be careful, he's going to hunt down that friend and he's going to go after you to find out who that friend was. So don't think you're safe. I tried it, and in the first few seconds of it running frame rate mode off, it doesn't slow it down, so it still runs at the same speed for me, even on high res, so getting more FPS is due to the Pro hardware. Thanks for letting us know, Redstool. Makes me wonder why they didn't include a standard PS4 mode for us Pro owners to test our game's performance. Maybe that's what we can do. Maybe if you check on the feedback forums, type it in, see if it exists. If it doesn't exist, then you can suggest, you know, why don't you add a PS4 mode, or for maybe a good suggestion for the PS5 would be like a backwards compatible mode to test. So that would be a good suggestion that you could put forward. I don't think high res or high FPS modes don't anything, and it's a PS4 Pro feature only. LBA don't have those options. No, I don't. I can even show you. Like in here, display. All I have is screen shake, motion blur, enable UI effects, and show watermark. That's all I have. You guys will have resolution and frame rate mode somewhere here. I don't have it. So, problem. And I don't want to get a Pro since the PS5's coming out. There's no point now. I mean, I can still, this game will still be the same whether I make it on a base PS4 or a Pro. You know, it's not really going to make much of a difference. Even if I made it on a PS5, it's still going to be the same game. Just maybe it has maybe less zombies, because people tell me that if you have too many puppets, it can cause a lot of slowdown. And I think once I add complex logic and animations, it might be a problem. So that's the only thing the base PS4 is going to struggle with. It means this game probably won't have a lot of zombies on screen, but you know, I'll compensate for that with like smaller environments and maybe some crazy enemies that are more unpredictable. So you really don't want to fight 5 or 6 of these enemies. You just want to fight like 1 or 2 or 3. But I'll see. I've not tested it yet, so that's a work in progress. I made a measuring block for measuring. It was for measuring. Oh, that's good. Probably one on the Dreamiverse. Oh, cool. I don't even know where it is. There is a tool somewhere. I forget where it was. There's literally a ruler tool somewhere. Because look, see rulers? Show or hide rulers. I just can't remember where it is. It's somewhere. I'd need to like proper look for it. I don't know where. You guys probably know where it is. It's somewhere, right? There's a ruler. I promise you. There's a ruler somewhere. I sometimes have a problem with scaling walls when I'm building. I tend to use a puppet as a guide to know how high to make walls. Still throws me off from time to time. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been doing it a long time in Little Big Planet, so I'm used to it now. Especially with Sackboy, he's so tiny, it's so hard to create a good proportion. Because you want to make a realistic world, but at the same time you have to make it fit him, and it was never easy. Like right now, like when I play through the scenes, I'll probably notice like certain things are too big. Like the wheelchair last week, the wheelchair was too big, so I had to make that a bit smaller. But this is just the base puppet. He's like really thin. He's got a thinner leg than JJ Steve, so I can't really be too accurate right now. So when we make the character, maybe the character is bulkier, maybe the character's taller, maybe the character's smaller. I don't know, because I don't want every character to be the same size. I want it to be realistic, you know, like proper heights and things. That's probably a good idea to do. It would probably work better than my puppet method. Yeah, it's quite useful for certain things. I still use the puppet for measuring just things though, yeah. That's all I do. I always did it in Little Big Planet. Put a sack bot down, scale it to how big you want your character to be, and then just build around it, you know. Because most of the environments that I built in Little Big Planet were sort of realistic, kind of. So they had to be more in proportion. But yeah, like see that door over there? It's probably like way too big. It's just because I'm like way over here. But once I get the character closer, we'll probably notice that it's way too big. Yeah, see, like the handles are like too high. So things like that, you just need to put your character down and just see what kind of fits, you know. I don't want to make it too small though, because I mean that's like, it kind of fits, it's more realistic, that kind of size. Considering it's a restaurant, you could make a slightly bigger door just because it's a restaurant, you know, and there's a lot of people coming in and out. So I could make it a little bit bigger. But you get the idea, right? With my mad shutter. Right, so let me see if I can find that car. Let me write out. I don't know any names of any actual vintage cars, so let's just type in vintage car and see what comes up. That's far too vintage. It's like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang vintage. Cars, trucks and land vehicles. I wonder if he has any vintage cars. Oh, taxi. A train. We could put a train. That would be fun. Some of these are more cartoony. Formula 1 Imp Racer. That's nice, they've got some little carts. Sonic's car. I thought that looked like Sonic's car. You can put a racing car down if you want. I really wanted to get more of vintage. Something like this, you know, like that. Or maybe like that, or like this. Or this. Everyone loves a good red car, right? So I'm thinking like this is more of a race car, so maybe I'm thinking like maybe like this would look okay. Let me just check. You've got these ones as well. Wee scarabs. Oh, the Back to the Future DeLorean. I would love that actually. These are just all dirty trucks. I think I'll just put down this one for now. Kind of fits with the red, you know, for the diner. So again, I'm going to have to like properly scale this just to make sure. You want to come inside the car? Okay, this will help me scale even better. There you go. Sit down. Right. So if he's sitting here, I guess that's quite accurate. Let me see. Put him next to the door. I mean, it's like it's a bit long. Maybe I'll make it like just a little bit smaller. I mean, then it's probably a little bit too small. Because I think that's a good size. It's just a bit long for me. Oh well, we're just going to keep it like that. So I'll put this as like a centerpiece. I can properly decorate it. What looks good, because when you come in you want to see it. Ah, look at that, looks nice, doesn't it? I could put it on like a podium. Put some balloons around it, you know, make it look like a proper showpiece. Just move it over a little bit. It looks good. I think it looks good anyway. And you can't even see the blood on the outside, at least, because it's already red. Inside though, you're going to have a bloody problem, bloody nightmare getting the blood out of that car. Horrid. Right, so I need to create like a counter here. So I think on this side there's going to be like a counter. I don't want to make the kitchen too big, you know. I think it'll be like a small kitchen, smallish. It's a popular restaurant, but you know we utilise that small kitchen to the best of its abilities, so we don't actually need to have a big kitchen. I don't think we're going to explore the kitchen though. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's just a waste of time if I make it. Because by this point you want to get to the hospital, you know, you don't want to waste too much time. And I just noticed the doors on the fire escape, they're not working too well. Right, I think it's this bloody wall that's not properly aligned. I think that was the problem. Let me see. Wish there was a way that you could see things if they were aligned properly, you know? Maybe it's just this door, I don't know. Let me just move these out of the way for a sec. Put in this wall. Right. I'll put this back now. Right, got a broken door. Sorry people, but you ain't getting out. The door's broke. Look at back here. I'll need to get some other fire signs to put like on the the ceiling. I think there was another one that I could choose. There we go. So I don't know if this is going to be visible, you know. I'm just going to put it there just for now, because I haven't decided on the camera angle, so I don't actually know if you're going to see this high up, you know. But I'll just leave it there. If not, I'll just put things on the wall. When I do the analysis test, it does show the scene runs in slowness and at 26 FPS, but since it happens on my Pro, it doesn't affect me, but I can see that it would run slow for others. Oh yeah, for me, my PS4 would go on fire. Yeah, I made a more realistic size puppet than I use. Alright. And for some reason, using analysis on my scene, it shows over 230% gameplay. Yeah, for me it was like, the highest it went was like 280, and that was when he was using the beam attack. It was quite extreme. Have you got doors in your scene, Red Stool? Yeah, one for level exit to an end scene. Or maybe emitted objects. I've never actually used emitted objects in this game yet. Yeah, a lot of objects spawning. Just throwing some possible reasons, I have no idea. But you know, if I used cloned objects, that's cheaper. So emitting the same object shouldn't cost much, right? Yeah, I don't think it should, unless there's an expert that knows different. While my chat was frozen all the time and I didn't realise it until reloading the stream. Jesus, my internet is horrible as of recently. Oh wow, you've missed all the great chat. That's a shame. I wonder if in the future schools might use Dreams as a form of art. I think they could. I mean, I think some schools are starting to do it, but I think it's mostly schools for like kids, just to sort of teach them how to do things. But that would be good if it was used a bit more professionally. Would be quite nice. Right, let me just take one of these. Let's see. So I'm going to see how I can space these out. So everyone's got some room, you know, to move. Move it like that. I guess that's a good space. I mean, I could try and line it up. Nah, I think I'll just leave it like that. So I don't want to create something that's too close to the car, you know. I want to have a bit of space. If I put, how popular is this place though? There's so many tables. I think it is a popular place though. I mean, it's JJ Steve's favourite place, so you know it must be of a good quality, you know. Places don't get JJ Steve's approval that easily, you know. Let me see, if I'm going to line it up, maybe I could just move these over. Oh. Maybe line it up to those. And maybe do the same on the other side. What I'll do is though, to like block your path, I'll put like a mop on the floor, you know, like a cleaning thing, like you can't pass. So I don't want to make it like a proper labyrinth where you have like so many different paths to take. So I will try and block that. Here though, there's going to be one less, obviously. Just fix that. So, right, so that is kind of what I was imagining. I'll put some decorations here. I'll try and make this look a bit better. Have a counter, and then maybe like the kitchen or something. I might push this wall back a wee bit just to make it a little bit bigger. So if the counter is like here, you're going to need a big kitchen, right? But I want space here because I want the door to go here. Just like the extra door that you can leave, the side entrance, or closer to the kitchen, so it's mostly used for staff. Obviously I need to make enough room for the kitchen. Not that I'm going to make the kitchen, just so that there's actual room to assume there's a kitchen in there. So let me make a counter. Let me see. Can I get a diner counter? It's not going to make it. It's not going to make it work from my scene because my scene's obviously bigger than this one. But someone's made modules, so that's kind of cool. It's got the seats that you can sit on. So here's the counter. And this is the counter with the seats, I guess. Let me see. Okay, so that's just your bog standard counter. And then you've got one here that has seats. It's more basic, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to use that. I think I'll just use this one, and then I'll just duplicate it, right? Just to get an idea for the structure. So the counter needs to be... I'd probably put it like here maybe, because I want there has to be room for people to work here in the back, you know, like if you go to like McDonald's or something, you always see them working, like it's like an open kitchen, just a little bit, and then maybe there's like another kitchen here that's like closed to do some other things. It's a very basic kitchen. You had problems with the chat last week too, didn't you, Isaac? Did you? Oh well, that's not good. Seems to be an unfortunate problem, isn't it? I'm not too experienced with emitted objects at the moment, but I know that cloned objects use 0% more graphics thermal than the original, no matter how many you clone, but they do use gameplay thermal. You know what's weird? I kind of tested that theory. I was making a building, and rather than create a new sculpt, I just cloned like a sculpt in to the building, and then I duplicated the same walls and stuff, but it's like if you change it like even just the tiniest bit, then it becomes a whole new thing, which is quite annoying. I think that's why people build with like blocks, because then it's like you could just use the same block to build a whole house. But can you imagine trying to edit that block, because there's so many blocks, and then you'd have to like make sure you group everything together. I don't know. I just think it's a bit more repetitive. Yes indeed, Alpha. That's unfortunate. Yeah, maybe it's just a bad day for your internet, maybe. I know for sure my school wouldn't. It's archaic as hell. It's archaic, it's a very old school. I wouldn't be surprised. Dreams is incredible for all kinds of creative. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does get used at some point. Use 0% more graphics thermal, that may be true, but I would imagine each object would add up to the max number of objects that can exist in one scene. No real way to know the max number per scene. The diner reminds me of an old restaurant in my town. It was modelled like a retro 50s style place. The restaurant was a tourist attraction for the area. Been here for decades. Alright. It's been there since not quite the 50s, but almost the 50s. My battle max number of objects in the scene, but it wouldn't let me add more shapes or logic, and the gameplay wasn't even full. I dread the day that happens to me. Unfortunately, the owners had to sell and the place got bought by a big chain restaurant company, and they changed it to be the same as their other locations. Alright, so it's like a franchise. That's crazy. Could you optimise in any way, destroying objects that can't be seen anymore? Yep, just one tiny edit makes it a new unique object. That sucks though, because that means I have to use the same block to make the same things, you know? I'd have to like piece it all together, and I don't like that. I prefer to put an object down, stretch it, then detail it. It's just like, it's more easier that way, you know? But if I have to like make a, like if I was making this for example, it's like, you know, he's used like the same cube more or less for everything, you know? You can do it for some objects, but I think some other objects it's a little bit harder maybe. Yeah, my school is ridiculously obsolete. How so? They just have a really old-fashioned way of looking at things. Not really, because everything there is either visual or used during the fight. When the enemies die, they do get deleted. When the music changes from track 1 to 2, track 1 gets deleted. Alright, so you've got like a dynamic thermal. I remember the dynamic thermal in Little Big Planet 3. It was awful because it never worked. And it was really glitchy for me, so it was like, the way it worked was, the further away you got from an object, it would temporarily, not delete it, but just make it not visible anymore. However, when I tried to use it, one day I came into my level, and the level was gone. Everything was gone. The thermal was still there, but everything inside was done. Couldn't see anything, couldn't select anything. It's not like it was invisible, it just wasn't there. The dynamic thermal glitched, so it made everything dynamic even when I was like in front of it. So that was like my level destroyed, and I think I gave up on that level, to be honest. You know, one thing we need to do, we need to make toilets. Can't have a restaurant without toilets, right? So where are we going to put toilets? Need to think about that one. It's a big place. Kind of needs toilets. Maybe I could reduce some things over here. Maybe I could like, so the seating here is against the wall. Maybe rather than make the seating against the wall here, I'll just make the seating like in rows, because I can use this area as a bathroom. I think that's probably better. Make it like that, so we can use that space for a bathroom. And if you want to save yourself the hassle, just make the unisex bathroom, and then it works for both. You don't need to create two. That's what I did for the job centre. Maybe I should do it here too. Maybe it's a running theme we should have. Every area, like the hospital, the restaurant, the job centre, they all have unisex bathrooms, and that is it. If you don't like it, well, tough. So let's see. I need to make the bathrooms big enough, but you're not actually going to go in the bathroom anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I think if you enter here, yeah, you're going to need a bit more bit more space. So you're not going to enter the bathrooms, I don't think. Maybe if I come up with a gameplay idea, I might let you enter one of the bathrooms, because this is the second character's area. So the first character, she goes to the job centre and she does go in a bathroom. The second character doesn't have a bathroom, so maybe his bathroom can be in the restaurant. Maybe that would be a good fit to make sure I've got it working for both. Oh, just give me a sec. Latin and ancient Greek are among its most important subjects, so, well, who says using a dying language is a bad thing, right? I hope they add servers to Dreams. For example, you could maybe set up a server that is a map of a city and have like 10 people join, so it could be like GTA. Yeah, I mean, even just getting normal multiplayer, that's like a head scratcher. It's probably going to take them forever to finish that, so that's an awesome idea, but I don't think it's really executable. Yeah, Latin and ancient Greek, weird. LBA, that happened to me. What happened? I'm lost now. Yeah, that thermal sucked. Oh, when the dynamic thermal deleted your level. Okay. Yeah, that sucked. And also, if you want to switch back to normal, you have to delete things in LBP3. Yeah, it's not good. I stopped using dynamic thermal from that day. I thought, great, I don't have to use the emitter trick anymore, because the emitter trick was like anything that you emitted, you could delete it, and like the thermal would be like really tiny, because like the scene would be empty, but then you would have all these emitters, and then you emit one scene, the thermal goes up, the scene ends, and then it deletes, and then the next scene emits, and it goes up, and then it deletes. So that's how you kind of manage it. So I had like levels that were like several megabytes in size, and it took people ages to load the level, and they used to go into the comments and just like spam letters, you know, like, so you had these dead long comments, you know, well, and it just said like loading, and I'm like, just wait. But yeah, once that happened with the dynamic thermal, I never used it again. It was a good solution to the emitter problem, but sadly it just didn't work. Too glitchy, that game in general. Try doing some things all in one sculpt. Some walls of the building, if the building is small enough, like a house, the whole house can be one sculpt. Wouldn't work for the hospital though. Yeah, see, the thing is, maybe I can ask you this. I tried to sculpt a full building in the one sculpt, right? However, when you go to paint the sculpt, it's really difficult to actually paint like specific areas. So like, say I want to paint the wall, but I don't want to paint the windows, everything gets painted. And if I want to paint the windows, then I have to be like really, you know, like really accurate with my painting, and I find that really boring. So I don't know if there's a solution to paint and not have to deal with that problem. I know you can probably change the sculpt colours, but I mean like painting, you know, proper painting. But other than that, I don't really know. But yeah, the hospital, yeah, that's going to be a big area. I think it's going to be one of the most challenging architectural jobs I've ever undertaken, but I'll do it. Is there a way to unload stuff you're not needing at any given time? For example, if you have an interior area and exterior area in the same scene, but only one loaded up at once. I guess you could have like a sensor that turns things off and on, depending where you are or where you're facing. Someone actually did make logic that actually generates things as you turn and look around, so everything behind you deletes, and as you turn around everything pops back in. But that's like really fancy logic. I don't know how to do that exactly. How long do you think it will take before people start modding and stuff in Dreams, if it is possible? I feel like if it were possible, people would use it for messing around with flex settings. It will probably never become moddable unless it goes to PC, which is a whole other thing, because I guess there's no real guarantee that it ever will come to PC. They're bringing the Horizon game to PC, but I don't know. I just don't know about Dreams, because they want to sell it and promote it on PS5. Who knows? But yeah, I don't think modding is going to become a thing on consoles ever, I guess. Could make both interior and exterior, each being a big group, then use a selector to select between what to spawn and unspawn. Yeah, basically, that's one way of doing it. Yeah, that's one of the many downsides to one sculpt. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way around them. Yeah, because that was one of the harshest lessons I ever had. I was sculpting and I thought, oh well, if I'm sculpting this building, and even though it's the one sculpt, I have different shapes, but then if I paint a shape, it paints, like if I paint this, it also can paint something over here. You know, it's annoying. Or one other thing I noticed is that when you're painting, I find this really stupid by the way, but like say you're painting, right? If I paint this wall and then I move the wall does not remain painted. The paint does not follow the wall. Basically all I'm doing is putting paint down in this specific area, but if I move this wall, the paint, it's not there anymore, so I have to move the wall back into the radius of where the paint is. Like, I find that's really stupid. So you don't actually paint the wall. It's not like Little Big Planet where you sticker a wall and then you move the wall and the stickers follow the wall. If you paint something, it doesn't follow. At least it didn't for me. So that was when I was trying to paint a single sculpt. So it was a bit of a pain. Right, let me duplicate this wall. Right, so we're going to pretend that there's going to be some toilets here. Who knows if we'll enter them, but I'll design the space assuming there may possibly be some bathrooms. So maybe I could, let me see, I need to get some doors in again. Some basic doors. Some bathroom doors. Quite fancy. It is a nice restaurant, right? Maybe we can use it. Just kind of want a plain door, you know, but not too plain, not too awful. Like if I used this for example, some restaurants they have these kind of doors. They're like kind of fancy, more rustic. Does this door open as well? What the hell? God damn it, my doors are falling apart. This is only happening because I'm in play mode to play the music, so I blame the music for all of the weirdness that's going on. Even this puppet is weird when he dances in the air. Okay, so just like testing just to see the size of the door. I could maybe make it a wee bit smaller. Maybe not that smaller. I think that's a bit too small. That's a wee bit too small. Make it a bit bigger. That'll do. Right, we'll just pretend this is a bathroom, right? A single bathroom or a unisex bathroom, that is the question. I think I'm going to put the door over this side though, because I hate it when there's bathroom doors where you're sitting. It's kind of distracting. Put it over here. It's far enough away, I guess, from people. There you go. Or it could be like one of those places where it's like you have to go through the bathroom door, and then it's like you turn left, you go to the male, you turn right, you go to the female, or There's the female one here, the male one here. Maybe that's one way I can do it. But I don't even know if I'm going to enter this door, so we'll just assume that we don't need this door. I'm thinking though. So still need to design all of the gameplay, you know, things that we're actually going to do in the game. Let me just swap that around. Put it like that. Right, there's your toilet. How did that door get out there? What is going on? It's defying the laws of physics. I should try that. It's not really a feature I need for my game. I was more curious than anything. Still, we'll try that just so I know how to do it. Yeah, I mean, it's good to experiment. You know, you might find a good use for it. Yep, it's very limiting. Yeah, it's a shame. But it's a powerful way to save thermal. I suppose it's good if you're making things that are like in the background, maybe. That way you don't have to use as much thermal. But everything I'm making, it's quite, not super close to the character, but close enough. And I want everything, I don't want things to look really blurry either. I want them to look good, you know. The subtract sculpt tool works like that too. It's dumb. If you subtract from a shape and then move the shape, it fills back in. Yeah, it's like the subtract shape is like a separate entity. Does anybody know how to make the subtract shapes visible? Because like, say like I've built something and I'm subtracting things, right? And then I decide, oh, I want to delete that subtraction. How would I actually see it? Because like, when you need to like hover over it, but because it's invisible, it's almost impossible to see. And especially if it's like a little subtraction, you really need to get on it. So I don't know if there's an option to like visualize it, because I had a look and I thought it's not invisibility. I didn't know if it was any of these things. Like, would X-ray help? I don't know, to see these little things, because it is quite hard to see. I fixed the door just because I didn't throw it down. I didn't fix the shutter though. I agree, Alpha, that's kind of one of the reasons I probably won't really bother with sculpting. I mean, give it a go, I suppose. It's just that you need to get used to some of the rules on how it works. Yeah, if you paint an object in sculpt mode, then move the object, it loses the paint. But this only happens during sculpt mode. If you move it out of sculpt mode, this doesn't happen. Yeah. So like, if I'm making the single sculpt, it's like I have to move things around, you know? And it doesn't work that way. So it's better to do separate sculpts, that way I can paint something and then move it around. That's just the way that I like to build things. I like to take pieces and build them around, but not feel restricted within one sculpt. John Jerry Steve should have his own bathroom with strange looking toilets that only work for him. Yeah, it's just like a slot for your leg, and you just put your leg in and it goes like ah, that's me done. It's like, for him, if he unclogs a toilet with his foot and his leg, that's like doing the toilet for him. That's the satisfaction he gets from it. You can't. Okay. You can delete a subtraction by hovering over the part that got subtracted, but the subtraction, and then delete it. Yeah, but I just don't know how to see the subtraction, you know, other than hovering over it, you know. Because maybe I made some subtractions a long time ago and I forgot where they are, and, you know, I need to hover all over everything just to find it. It's stupid. They need to fix that, or at least make a better way to do it. I'll stick to audio, and when it comes to creating scenes in the future, I'll use community assets. Yeah, I mean, I'm using community assets for most of my things. if I play through a scene and I think, yeah, it looks good, I'll keep it. But then if I look through and I think, well, this doesn't look so good, then I'm probably going to have to make one of my own. Like the outside buildings, all of the buildings, they're either cartoony or they're mainly for someone that wants to like build a huge city like Spider-Man or a racing game. You know, games where you don't really need to go in the buildings, they're just there. So it doesn't really fit for me. I had to create a wider building and I want to put in my own details and stuff, but the buildings are a work in progress. Like, it's probably I'm going to keep working on them, but I'm basically just going to get the basic shapes done so Intra Attack Out can do the lighting, and then I can work on the environments later, because I'm not even supposed to be working on the polished versions of these scenes yet. I was going to leave that for a few months in the future because I wanted to finish all the level design first, but I'm nearly finished with most of the non-combat logic, so really the next stage is to detail all these scenes unless I get the the character sculpts soon, and then it means I can start doing the combat logic and start animating things. Alright, I know this doesn't look good, but this is just what I'm going to do for now, right? Just to get things rolling, right? Makes it look kind of straight, doesn't it? Even though it's not. I mean, you can kind of see the overlap, but who cares? I'll put the camera like this. You won't see a thing, I promise. I will also need to get like a sign for the prices in the back of the different products. I don't know. I'll need to search and see if there is any available. Plus, we need the cash register, or the till. Do you call it a till? Let's just put in cash register just because it's American. This is a British game, but it's very American when it comes to searching for things. What? I think we found this before. What the hell? It's like the Eminem character is like, he got the mask, you know? Oh wow. Right, here we go. I think that'll do. 92% thermal, are you kidding? Why? Just why? Right, this is 2%, this is more mathing. Right. Put the register here. Maybe, I don't know how many registers we'll have, but it's a busy place, so we might have to increase, you know, the amount that we use, you know. Yeah, let me put it there. So we've got the register, one register, but we'll have more for each line that we go past. And then we need a menu. Let's see. Is there any menus that we can put on the back? No, we don't want a person's actual menu for the game, you know. Let's see. Food menu. What has that got to do with anything? Right. What could I put in then? Because people are writing menu, and it's like a main menu, so it's not what we're looking for. I don't know. I don't know what to search for, because we're getting clogged with game menus, when really I just want a damn menu for my food. Right, let me see. Drink menu, please. Have a drink menu. No, nothing. If I put in, I don't know, a display, would the display have... I mean, it's something like that, basically, but it has food, so maybe I could just use this and edit the text just to make it have food items on the front. I think that's what I'm going to have to do, because I don't see any other options. Oh god, it's inside that. Oh! That was quite nice actually, the way it all kind of worked. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if it's easy to edit. Well, I suppose you could edit it, but I'll just make my own. I'd rather make my own, to be honest. I don't think it's something I should worry about. If you can think of another name for a menu or something that might be easier to search for. There's never enough subtractions. Well, say that again. To delete a subtracted shape, you need to go to where it's subtracting, and when you hover over it, you'll see the outline. There's no real way to see it any other time. Yeah, exactly. I want an option that lets me actually see where these are in the first place. A cartel or a menu card, maybe? I've never heard of a cartel, whatever that is. What did you say? Carte? Why is the guy from Family Guy there? Right. We're not quite wanted. We're not the cartel. You find some weird things, don't you, when you search for things that you don't have a clue what they are. The shining sign. Right, let me try your other suggestion. Menu card, maybe. No, nothing. So there you go, there's another thing we can make in Dreams. A menu, and a big menu to put on the wall. What we need is to be able to create subtraction shapes, and then can subtract from any other object, making it possible to apply holes into a wall from gunfire or something like bombs in LBP. Yeah, I guess that would be another good feature. That would be a useful tool. Seems like it could be added. Yeah. So hopefully that is something that they're thinking about. Okay. So I started to say, because like, is this going to be like a fast food place? Like a really good fast food place? Or is it going to be more like a sophisticated restaurant? Because if it's fast food, the way I'm making it's fine, because you've got like the tills, you're going to have like things to cook the burgers back here. You could have like an extra kitchen. Like I can adjust this shape just to make more room. But right now it is more like a fast food kind of place. I'll make one more till just to make it more symmetrical. There you go. It's a busy place. Damn car is getting in the way of people lining up at the till. People need to come here. They need to wait in line here, and then they need to go. They need to take your turn. This car was meant to be a beautiful centerpiece, and it's just ended up becoming a pain in the ass because it's getting in the way of people trying to line up for their food. Not good. I would like to put it on a podium though. I think it may be a little bit better, just so there's not just a random car just sort of sitting in the middle, and then I'll put like some promotional stuff around it. So let's see if we can we find like a Can we find a cooker? There we go. But we need more of an industrial one. Let's see. If I put an industrial, let's see. What comes up? There's loads of things. Let me see. Nothing. Nothing. No. What other things came up when I put in diner? Because I'm sure there was loads of things here. So we had the seats, we had the counters. We've got the sign, but we don't really need that. Got the clock. I mean, I suppose I could put it on the wall. Why not? Right, just put that there just now. And then, what else is there? Someone else has made a rap movie diner. That's alright. It's mostly just chairs and stuff, isn't it? The hell is that? Is that meant to be like the window? What's this? Here's a proper American diner. See, my diner is a bit more sophisticated than this one, because mine is a proper establishment. Ah, look, here we go. Restaurant kitchen equipment set. This is exactly what I was looking for. Ooh. This is remixable. Nice. Oh, and look, we've got the kitchen stuff as well. So if we did make the kitchen stuff, we could use it. Okay. That's quite cool. There's literally only one in Dreams. And it's just one sculpt. So it says, so sorry you won't be able to separate and rearrange. See, that's what I hate about separate sculpts. You can't rearrange. So if I wanted to move these things out of the way, ain't gonna happen. I would just have to, like, just live with it, you know? So it is what it is. We're just gonna have to use it, and hopefully everything looks alright. The hell? Right. Does that look like a good size? I mean, it's probably a bit big actually. Right. Let me see. Excuse me. So yeah, it's probably just a tiny bit, just a tiny bit too big. Just make it a little bit smaller. Put it back down. I think that looks a bit better. So this is where you're frying your chips. This is where you're making your burgers, I guess. Yeah, I don't work in the kitchen. I don't even know how to cook, so like, what's the difference between this one and this one? I know this is for the steam. This is for your pots, right? This is some kind of oven. I guess like you're not really going to use it, so maybe it's kind of good. Now that I've put that there, I can probably move this a bit further back just to give people more space to queue up. Let me just move everything over a bit. Get everything a wee bit closer. Let me put it there. Just a wee bit more. So now we've got our little temporary fastly made kitchen. I still want to make a room that's specialised for the kitchen. It's not very good for health and safety, you know, because we have a kitchen that's like so close to everybody else. But this city ain't supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be full of zombies, so it is what it is. I'll need to fix this as well, won't I? So I'll need to go up a bit higher. Right, so we've got the centerpiece, we've got the tables. Hopefully I can put some things on the wall at some point. Maybe some paintings or something. Then this is supposed to be the bathroom, but maybe I'll change that. And then maybe like, because I want to make like another sort of kitchen area, not too big. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll make, like, the vast majority of stuff gets made outside, but then I'll make a kind of like a kitchen. Hold on. I'm gonna have to decide how I'm going to structure this. Maybe I will make a kitchen at some point. It's one extra scene that I need to make, but if it makes this area a bit more interesting. So the idea is, like, you're behind here, the cashiers, there's somebody here making food, pretty close, and then you've got like an extra kitchen here or something. It's not the best, but this restaurant has been going for years and they ain't gonna stop now. So let me just move this along here. Okay, so this is where the bathrooms are. So you come through here, maybe there's like a bathroom here, another bathroom here. This kitchen stretches out to here, and then there's a little corridor here. And this is mainly where, like, maybe like some deliveries come in in the side entrance. So they come in and then they go through another door and they go into the kitchen, and then maybe that's like a storage area for the kitchen. So yeah, I think there's a rough kind of structure working for this. So I still need to decide if you can actually enter the kitchen. If you are going to enter the kitchen, I might need to change the dimensions of this, just so I can actually make it more playable. And I need to decide if you're actually going to enter the bathrooms. I don't think you will, to be honest. But yeah, looks okay. And then after this, once you leave through here, you'll go onto the streets. You go through the alleyway a little bit, and then there's another part that's blocked for some reason. This city is full of blockages. And then you enter the small, it's like a little convenience store, and then you exit the front entrance of the store and you cross the road, you go to the hospital private car park. So there's we're almost getting to the hospital for the second character. That would be a useful tool, yeah, it would be. Bombs from LBP, I still remember that one canyon level with the jetpack and the bombs. Oh my god, that was a nightmare. Whose idea was to give you one life? That was a dreadful idea. From LBP1, yeah. You should have a black and white checker floor, would fit well with the red booths. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have a look and see if there's a good one there. Definitely, yeah, let's do it. Let's put it down. I normally neglect the floor till like the very end, because a floor's a floor, you know. But let's do it. I think it'll look a bit better if we can put it in now. You can separate them, clone them, then delete the parts you don't want from each clone until all parts are separate. Then why did he lie to me? Why did he say you can't edit these? Clearly he doesn't have your vast knowledge of how to edit single sculpts. Well done. Alright, well, I can do that. I mean, they kind of look okay together right now, but yeah, I could maybe stretch them out a little bit depending on how this scene works out. Maybe those burgers don't come from cows. Oh, okay. Maybe they're working with the hospital. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe there's any meat that they want to get rid of the evidence. They sell it, or they give it on to the the restaurant. Maybe this restaurant is just a front. It's just a front for their organisation. That would be a good idea, because like there's a point where you leave the streets, you go in the hospital for a while, and then you come back out later on near the end of the game. You come back onto the streets briefly. So maybe you come back to the restaurant and there's like a secret in the restaurant, you know. Maybe we find there's actually something in this car. If you open this up, there's something hidden in here this whole time. Solient green is people. Solient brown is zombies. Right, let's see if I can find that floor. It was a checked floor. I mean, I could use that one and change the colour, but maybe that's too complicated. I wonder if someone's made a bigger floor, because I don't like how this floor has curves. I could probably edit that, but is that a word? Checkered. There you go. Most people say checkered, they don't say checked. I'll just put in the full title. So there's a collection here, lots of different colours. So what do we have? Oh, nice. So we've got cyan and white. We've got brown and white. We've got pink and white. We've got red and white. Orange and white. We've got magenta and white. We've got teal and white. What's this one? Yellow, I guess. Yellow and white. Grey and white. Violet. I was going to say purple, but I think that was the magenta. Violet and white. We've got the green and white, the red and white, black and white, and the blue and white. There you go. So I guess we're going to try this one. Right, now I know there's a better way to do this. I know there's a way, like if you use the cloning tool, or you can use like the kaleidoscope or something like that to make like multiple versions of the floor. Otherwise, I don't know. But hold on, I just want to see like how big I'm going to have the floor, like the tiles themselves. So let me see. Let me grab my character. Come over here. Right. So if you're standing, do you think these tiles are like already a good size? It's like you can stand both feet on a tile. Or do you think the tile should be bigger or smaller? Hey LBA, are you going to add the dog theme to your jukebox again at some point? Oh, it's still there. We just have 2 jukeboxes. We have the Resident Evil 3. Hold on. So tight, I can't get it. There we go. Right, so we got the Resident Evil 3 one. And then we have, this was the original one we used, so this has the dog theme. Where is it? Where's the dog theme? The dog ending theme. Here, it's here. So it's still there. What I want to do is I want to update this with more in Dreams stuff, and maybe even compose some more tracks and that are similar to survival horror games. Maybe once Witty makes more of the soundtrack, I can start putting those tracks in the jukebox as well, so that we get used to the music in the game. And it'll be a good experiment, because if you hate the tracks, like if they become repetitive after a couple of streams, then we know the tracks need to be improved. But otherwise, we'll just keep them as they are. If LBA requests that, I'll add it in. I mean, I've got it already, so technically I could. But not the Resident Evil 3 one. Let's keep that separate. I don't want that getting mixed up with dogs and spaceships. Pink and white makes JJS feel more relaxed. Oh yeah. Or maybe green, because he is green. It matches him. Looks good to me. The tile's a good size. Oh, okay. The tiles could maybe be a little bit bigger, but it already looks fine. Yeah. I mean, how did you get over here? Who is unsupervising you? Oh, that would be me. Right, let me see. I'll make a slightly bigger version. Is that slightly enough for you? It's like basically nothing. Maybe a bit more. I mean, this is more than slightly. This is like almost double. So there's your. Let me delete these, right? So here's your comparisons, right? You've got the ones we had, and then these ones that are slightly bigger. So if you walked into this diner, this is basically what you would see. Would you see the bigger ones, or would you see the normal ones? Let me know, because it's going to be a nightmare to redo this floor. And now I know how people feel when they're retiling their real life floor. They have to redo everything from scratch. Maybe the bathroom has pink and white, if we put the bathroom in. I don't know yet, because I don't want to make this restaurant too expansive, because then it's like it's even more work. I think we're kind of good as we are. I think the chairs and tables looked too big when the puppet was on them. How dare you? Oh, let me see. For me, it's like that. It looked alright, because it's like the table is like waist height. Sorry. For me, it looked kind of okay. And since he is really thin, our characters will obviously be a little bit bulkier. But yeah, well, I can change. Once we get the final characters in, I'll do like a third draft of everything and make sure everything fits. I think it's only because he was standing on them. Maybe he's been a naughty boy, right? So what's the easiest way to actually create this floor? Because I can already tell this is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. Right, let's start from the corner of the room. Thing is though, I'm still like adapting this room to like changes, so if I move walls and things, I'm going to have to like redo the floor again, so I'm probably not going to do the full floor. I'll do like maybe like a row or something, just to get an idea of the floor. And then I'll do the full floor once we've finalised everything. So boom, 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 boom. Hold on, I didn't want that. It's because the camera angle was too far away. So I hate this when you clone things, but then the camera goes a bit too far and I can't see what I'm doing. Right, is that good? Okay. There's your damn floor. Right, hold on, let me see, can I actually... Right, here we go. There's actually a light on that door. It's quite inviting, isn't it? Right, we can't really see the floor because the lighting's all horrible, but yeah, it looks nice. Once I do the rest of the floor, oh look at that clock as well, that looks quite cool. And as you can see, the car lights are on even though they should be off. This is just for show, it's not a real car. But what I'll do is I'll probably have like some lights that are like broken, and then some lights that are like just flickering on and off, because the restaurant won't have like full lighting. It won't be like a a daylight scene. Every scene's going to be creepy, every single place. If you want to use a phone, where's a good place to put the phone? Maybe over here. Let me put it over here. Maybe it's like near the fire exit. Don't want to put it too close to these places because you don't want to block anything, but I was going to put it near the toilet. I suppose I could put it near the toilet or up here, because when you go through here, actually there's going to be a space here, so maybe I'll put the phones here. It's sort of out of the way, and it gives us an extra little decoration, really, I guess. So if I do decide to add the toilets, then I'll obviously change this wall. But for now, I think I'll just put like some phones, just to add a little bit more detail to the scene, and then maybe like some like chairs or something. Then there's going to be a little door here that goes to like the back of the kitchen. The door here leads outside of the restaurant. So I don't know if I'm going to use a single door or a double door. I think I'll just use a single door, I think. So I'll duplicate this one. Oops. I hate that when you go to duplicate it, but then it doesn't actually duplicate. And then just delete one door. Just assume this is where the exit is. And we need another door for the kitchen, so I'm not going to use this door for the kitchen, just to give me an idea where it is. Let's just say it's here. Alright. So that's like this entrance is mostly used for people that have like side deliveries or something, or for the delivery boys maybe. So it's like they come out of the kitchen, maybe they give it to the drivers here, and this is like the side alleyway, and this is like the main street, and this is where the hospital is, and where the private car park, it will be over on this side. So yeah, I think it's an alright sort of design. I might need to like move this wall back if we do want to make the kitchen bigger to explore. So I'll need to move this wall back a bit, but other than that, I think it's alright. If we do make a bathroom, I'll need to edit this part, but it looks okay, I think. Yeah, not as big as first thought. Yeah, I mean, it's like, maybe it will be, we'll just need to see. Make the grid bigger, L1 and the D-pad up. Alright, is that a shortcut? Do you have to have the grid on first for that to work? Or does it always activate? What if it was a real car and that's how you escape the city at the end? I mean, you could, technically. Maybe it's like, oh, at the end of the game, it's like you're just escaping the lab, and you've just fought this massive monster, and you're both looking at each other going, oh, how are we going to get out of this mess? And then the character goes, wait a minute, the restaurant! And then they go in the car, boom, out the door. So assuming that car can fit out of this door, yes it can. Look at that, perfect. It goes right out that door, and right through the shutter, my dodgy shutter, which is now fixed. And yeah, they ride on and into the sunset with probably really low amount of gas, because I don't think this is getting fueled very often. But yeah, that would be a fun ending, I think. Looking good, gonna look great with the creepy lighting. Yeah, I mean, once we get like even the walls, I need to figure out what's a good way to texture walls? Because it was easy in Little Big Planet, you just had to change the texture, but in Dreams, my god, I don't know how to texture. My idea is basically colour the wall the colour you want, and then you can add like you know, like these different paint strokes. So like if you want to do like something that has like dirt or something or blood, you can like splat it all over the wall and make the walls look a bit dirty, you know. But this is a restaurant, so it needs to look clean, and I don't really know how to make it look, you know, like a proper wall. So all I can do is really change the colour, put up some pictures, but hopefully it won't matter. Hopefully once the lighting's in, you won't really see the wall, you know. It'll still look good, even though it's a plain wall. It'll still be pretty cool. Let's see what kind of food we have. Let's see. Maybe some of the food still on the tables. Food 3. Wow, there's a lot of food. See, I told you, everyone loves to make food. I was confused what this was. Japanese whiskey? Don't lie to me. They do not make whiskey. Do not talk nonsense. Right. So we've got the... That's pretty good graphics, isn't it? I mean, it's a little bit plasticky, but looks pretty nice if it's small. Definitely need to get some of these, because the outbreak only happened like maybe a couple of hours before the start of the game, so technically a lot of people would have left their food just lying on the counters. Oh man, perfect. Oh nice, see, this is making me hungry, look at that. Oh, I love my desserts, by the way. Get some donuts, some cookies. Someone's made M&Ms. A dream bar. Oh, very nice. What are these? Peppermint candy. I think they're called something different in the UK. What are these? These are like, I thought they were like Easter eggs or something. Popcorn. I like that. I like that. Like, do you know what? Out of all the graphics in Dreams, I'd say the food graphics are probably the best graphics. Like, this is like the best stuff. Like, people make lots of great graphics, but I think the food is definitely is one of the best. So that was food 3, but I think there's so many categories that we can choose from, but I'll need to have a good look and see. But I guess most people would probably order the burger with the chips. There's the burger on its own. I don't know what it means by a usable hamburger. What does that even mean? Right, so we've got the hamburger. We've got the hamburger with the chips. Oh, and it's taking a long time to load because it's damn too detailed. So it's like, this is our menu. You can get our basic burger or you can get our detailed burger. So this is the price points, you know. If you're kind of cheap, this is what you're going to get. Looks a bit old, a bit dull, a bit boring. Or you can upgrade to this one and it only costs you double the price. It's a bargain. But that does look nice. And I can edit it, so it's like I can use certain bits and pieces, and I can put like chips, like someone's like ran away and the chips have went, they flew all over the place, they're like scattered everywhere. Maybe there's a hot dog as well. Yeah, I'll do like variations of these. Obviously this one can be like one that's been lying there for a little bit too long. But everyone would have been in the restaurant at the same time, technically, so I don't really think a lot of their burgers would become that stale. Oh, so we'll need to get some plates and stuff. Plates, cutlery, napkins, some drinks. Maybe I can put like some spillages on the floor, so maybe there's like a Coke or something that's like been spilt and it's on the floor. You know, it would be really cool if you could animate like a drip. So like there's a cup and it just keeps like every so often it just drips on the floor. I think that would be a nice little detail. Most people probably won't notice it, but if we do like a good camera angle, you know, like as you're coming round from here, you know, like maybe the camera angle's like it's more like focused on it, you know. But yeah, we've got lots of ideas now. Everything's better once you add food. I'm already really excited now. That's like the best part of this whole stream is the food. Let me see. I don't know if that floor will cause issues if it's made out of multiple squares as a floor that's going to use a lot of objects. Is the checker floor just flat with black and white square paint on it? Let me check. Let me see. Yeah, it's individual blocks, so maybe that's a problem. I guess we'll see in the end if it's causing me too many problems. Either I make the tiles bigger, so then I use less tiles, or I just create tiles myself, because I don't think it would be that hard to make tiles. I could just make like, for example, like imagine I just deleted all these, right? And then I just like painted squares on, and just like square, 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 you know? I could probably make my own if it came down to that. Only if, because I'd rather not waste my time making things I don't really have to. So yeah. I didn't think about that when I suggested it. Yeah, I mean hopefully it works. Let's be positive and let's see. Yeah, it might be okay for his game though, because his areas are small. I'd have to optimize it though personally. Well, you're more than welcome to. I mean, we'll see what it looks like once everything's in the scene. If there's lag or performance issues, then we can look at it. But let's not worry about it just now. Yeah, his grid has to be on for that shortcut. Yeah. Yeah, if you use a black, white, square paint and then do that clone trick using the right D-pad to make the paint squares spread out, should be cheaper than copy and paste the panel itself. Yeah, so pretty much just what I was thinking, paint on the squares. If you want to decorate the wall, you should always use the paint tool and turn on snap to surface to paint on the wall. Yeah, it's a big help. I remember when I was practicing sculpting characters and I wanted to put like I wanted to paint like the eyes and stuff, and it's like if you don't use the surface snap, the camera pushes the paint through the eye, you know, and it was frustrating. But that was like a problem I had like way back in the beta, so it's not a problem anymore, thankfully. Usable hamburger made a usable hamburger. Well, I guess. I don't really know why it's usable, but all right. It's eatable, maybe edible, but usable. I mean, I'm not going to throw it at a zombie. I'm going to eat that. I want to eat M&Ms now. Oh yeah, especially the peanut ones. Anyone doesn't like the peanut ones, you're crazy. They're the best ones. Also, I agree, the food sculptures are definitely among the best. Yeah, I don't know why people just like get so passionate about food that they manage to squeeze out that extra bit of detail. No one cares about detail in rocks, they want to detail food. I'm hungry just looking at that collection. Yeah, you should have a look at it yourself, you know. It might give you some ideas for things that you want to eat. Me too. This place sells massive food items. Oh yeah, massive. Basically, like, I don't know, was it you, Alpha, that suggested like if you complete the game on nightmare mode, you can basically unlock a character that has a cheeseburger head. There's the cheeseburger. We can say it came straight from this diner, and that's a nice little cameo for the diner and the cheeseburger, and it's kind of fun. Oh my god, yes, peanut M&Ms, they're so good. I like the crispy ones as well, but I would always go for the peanut ones. Massive for JGS's tiny leg. You would walk up to him and you would say, JGS, I found you a new leg. It's a very edible leg, so you might have to replace it, you know, almost daily. He'll crush you into a burger, flatten you. Yep, that was me. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll do it. I'll see, because like we're adding so many features to the game. What's one more feature, right? Mouldy old hamburger as a weapon, just like throwing eggs in Resident Evil 4 and 5. Okay, that's another feature. We're going to be feature extensive. Oh, hey Swigfo, welcome back. It's been a while. I don't know if you've been watching, but I hope you're having a great week. No matter what type of M&Ms you get, you can't really go wrong either way. Yeah, I suppose. But I have to get the peanut ones. If you get me peanut ones and another one, okay, but at minimum I need the peanut ones or I get very disappointed. Also, peanut M&Ms are my favourite. See, we all think alike. Perfect. Right, so we've made some good progress on this diner restaurant. It just needs a bit more work. Need to figure out if I'm going to do anything with the kitchen in here, and if we're going to add any bathrooms. Add some food around, scatter it around, think about the floor. But yeah, more or less just need to fix that as well. But more or less everything looks where it should be, I guess. So I guess I'm going to try and do a stream tomorrow. I have work, so it's not a guarantee yet. I'll just see how I feel once I get back, because I get back a bit later than normal. So tomorrow I'll let you guys know if there's going to be a stream. Probably on Discord. I forgot to do this the past couple of streams, but if anyone has Discord and you want to join the Discord, because we always chat in there, some general chat, some project chat, things like that. So if you want to join, I'll probably let you know tomorrow if there's going to be a stream tomorrow, because I don't normally do it on Fridays, but I'll see what happens. But no guarantees, because I still need to work and stuff, but we'll see. But the Saturday one, definitely. So if we do stream tomorrow, it'll be another Create stream, and I guess we'll do the small convenience store on the other side of the restaurant. So I think that's a good place to continue from. So let me just save here, because I have not saved this scene at all. This whole stream I did not save, which is quite worrying. Just in case something happened. I don't know if there's like an autosave system, maybe. So let's see, let's just put in diner. Not dinner, diner. So we'll try and get the store done next. How can eggs kill zombies? Do they contain acid? Well, the rotten ones, definitely. Peanut M&Ms are superior due to the higher protein content in them. Oh yeah, definitely. You live in the edge, or you live on the edge. Yeah, prepositions, it's always a problem, right? You live on the edge, LBA, definitely. It's because I forget. Like, see, if I was working on this on my own, I would probably save quite a lot, but it's because I'm so focused on this and the stream that I guess I kind of forget. But I've never had a problem with saving yet, so hopefully that remains the same. What will the game's name be? Well, right now I've wrote it down as subject, just because that was the idea I always had for it. But I mean, you're welcome to convince me otherwise. I had some suggestions for other names, and I feel like they're not quite there yet, you know. And then some people suggested like really stupid names, like Al, you know, like, you know, I'm not going to call it Al. So yeah, if you can think of names, but the most important thing right now is probably the character names. So there's two main characters, there's a male and a female. They both need names. They don't need to worry about a last name, but it would be nice at some point to have, you know, a first and a last name. But we need to think of a name for both of them. Something that's not too generic, something that's not too obscure, but it's kind of nice. It's hard. Might need to look through a baby book just to find names that sound quite cool. So I'm going to head off back to work now. Toilet paper scavenger hunt. Why did I not think of that? Damn it. I think that would be like the ultimate thing. People would play it thinking, oh, this is going to be a really stupid game, and then suddenly it's like, oh my god, this is better than any toilet paper scavenger hunt I've ever played. Jason and Abby. Oh, I like that. Jason reminds me of the killer Jason, but it is quite a cool name. I have to keep remembering to save and back up random bad things happen to me. Oh yeah, and I lost a good amount of progress in the past. Oh yeah. Call it Aftermath. That's quite an interesting name. I'll need to take a note. Codex Evo, Codex. No, it has to be Code Y. Code Y. Pokemon X and Y. Code Veronica X and Y. That's how it works. So I think that's what I'll do. And you know, John Jerry Steve, if you've ever played Code Veronica X, his brother actually makes a cameo in Code Veronica X. He's inside the aircraft in the air. You know, the one you need to push off, the pain in the ass one. That's his brother. All right, see you later, Red Stool. Yeah, I'm gonna head now. I'm gonna get ready for work now. So it's all home office stuff. So that's why I streamed a bit longer. I don't need to drive anywhere. It's great. But yeah, keep safe, everyone. Hopefully it's another safe week. Alright, thanks for streaming once again. See you next time. Yeah, no problem. Code Blue, Flatline. Oh damn. Code Blue. We're all going to die. So there's Aftermath, there's Code Blue, Jason and Abby. Remind me of these names because I don't have time to write them down. Alright, see you later, guys. Maybe see you tomorrow. I'll let you know in the Discord if it's going to happen tomorrow. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.